Alright guys, back here for another review. Big Tom.
Damien.
Today we are at Totally Wicked headquarters.
Yeah, as it looks like to you and to us, it looks like Totally Wicked has just thrown up over the pair of us. Totally Wicked were kind enough to invite us up here today to have a look around, see how the place is run and basically get a better knowledge of how an actual e-cig company is run in the UK. And they wanted us to check out their new device, which is this Odyssey VV, an 18650 variable voltage e-cigarette. And yeah, we've been having a go on this for the last hour. Basically, this is the first time we've tried it. Totally Wicked wanted us to unbox it here and test it out here in front of them, just in case we had anything negative to say. Which we don't really, in all honesty. I'm quite surprised. I was expecting, oh, here we go, do you know what I mean? Have to have a look at it in front of them. What's your game, boys? But it is quite a cool device. It is pretty much something completely different. It is variable voltage and it goes up from 3.0 volts to 6 volts, pretty much like a Preveri. It is sort of like that sort of design, but it has something quite unique, whereas it doesn't have a screen. It has a dial that you use to control your voltage, and it does go up in 0.1 increments. But it also has 3 modes, which does make it completely different. You have sort of like a little light here that has 3 sets to it. It has blue for a cool vape, it has green for like your mid-range vape, and it has red for your hot vape. Hot vape? Hot vape. Freudian slip. Yeah, so I mean, it's cool. I like it. It does hit really, really hard.
It is. It's really cool. I thought at first it was going to be really clunky and heavy, but it's not. It's actually really light in the hand, and it's just easy way. It is pretty complicated at first when you get your hands on it, but after a few minutes or so, it is easy to use. Really easy to use.
Yeah. See, I've got this at the moment on its lowest setting, which is 3 volts. As you can see, I don't know if you can see there. It's got a little blue light on it. And you have this little dial here, and then one step up would be like 3.1, 3.2, and etc., all the way up to 3.6 volts on the blue setting. Then you have to press the button 4 times. Yep. 3 times, I've just gone up to red. 4 times up to green, and then 5 times up to red. So when you go to green, it sort of goes from 3.6 volts onwards, and then up to red for a really hot vape. It comes as a full kit. So you do get your charger with it, and you do get an 18650 with it. You get you get an atomizer with it, which is about 2.4 ohms, and you get this tank, which is sort of like it's kind of like a diver inside, isn't it? The tank. Yeah. It's basically you get pre-made coils, or you could probably rebuild them yourselves. They go sit inside the sort of like the cartomizer device, which then slides in and sits into your tank. And yeah, it's really nice. I mean, another day.
Yeah, it does bang, and it does come. I think it retails at 129 pounds.
130 quid for the full kit, and like I said, you do get a charger with it, you do get a battery with it, you do get your tank with it, you do get a pre-made coil.
And you get 10 ml of free juice.
And 10 ml of free juice. 130 quid, which for a variable voltage device, it's sturdy, and for its uniqueness, ain't a bad price. I mean, it works very similar to a Preveri. In all honesty, because it does maintain its power output as well. So even if your battery's running down, it will still output the same amount of voltage all the way to its lowest sort of battery life.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to how the Preveri's technology is. But as well, you don't have any screen or anything like that to worry about. It is just working it out with this dial. So that is quite quirky.
And another thing as well, that when you're vaping it also, you can change the dial as well. So if you wanting to perfect your vape and what your variable voltage is, then change the dial and you can get your perfect vape. Yeah,
it's that similar idea. If it's too hot, you turn it down. If it's too cool, you turn it up. Pretty simple. You can't get much simpler than that. The only difficult bit is turning it on and off. It's not actually. It's sort of like 3 spins to turn it on and off. You know, have I done it?
I believe so.
No. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we'll go down to the table and we'll do a little close-up. I'll show you what you get in the box. I'll show you how to basically fill the tank, and I'll show you how to change the atomizer or the coil inside, and then we'll come back and have another little chat about it. Okay? Safe. So here we have the Odyssey VV from Totally Wicked. It comes in this nice big juicy box. We'll take the top off. And you are greeted by your mod here with your tank, and here is your tank filler kit here like this. Let's just take this bit out for a moment and show you what else you get in the box. Here you get your guarantee. This is guaranteed for 5 years. You also get your guarantee of authenticity here. It has your serial number, which is number 23, and your Odyssey guarantee registration, so you can actually send this back to Totally Wicked and register your device. So therefore for those 5 years they'll know which device is which, what needs to be done, when it was born, bloody blah. You have a nice little instruction manual here to talk you through the device. You also get your multi-charger, and this will charge all your batteries really from 18350 to your 14500s and your 18650. It is circuit protected, so it basically will stop charging once your battery's fully charged. The light will go green, but it will cut off, so you won't overcharge your battery. Just comes with this USB plug, so it can plug into your computer, but if you do get a wall adapter you can use that as well. You get an 18650 battery, which I believe is a 2600 mAh, 3.7 volt, so that will last you the day, no worries. And you also get your replacement coils here for your atomizer. So let's move this lot out of the way, get this ready, and I'll put this in and show you how it works. Okay, let's get the battery in, unscrew the bottom, nice threads on that. Put your battery in, and jobs are good one. Now to turn it on, we have to go 1, 2, 3, I believe. There we go, and now we're on. Let's take this atty off and just check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's the tricky part, you see, getting that to work. We're on now. So yeah, it's 1, 2, 3. I was going too fast. You have to sort of do it at a sort of a pace, but you'll get used to it after a while. And to turn it off, you basically do it the opposite way, which is down to the green, back to the red. So it's 1, 2, 3. Now she should be off, which she is. Let's turn her back on. 1, 2, 3. Nope. 1, 2, 3. Yes, and we're on. See, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's done at a particular speed. Okay, now to put the wick into your atomizer, you basically remove your carto section here. Almost works pretty much like a diver. Unscrew this section. We shall get our pre-made wick, which comes in this little pack. If we can get it out. Well, they like wrapping this stuff up, don't they? And there you have your wick. Screw that into the bottom here like so. Push your coils down to the side. Place it into your carto there, and we put this back into the tank. It is flanged, so you have to line it up. And just line up the bottom there until it clicks. Like so. Now to fill it up, what you'll need to do is get this filling piece here, put that in the top, like so. Turn it to its side, and then fill with your e-juice. I'm not going to do that right at this moment. And then you'll screw it onto your mod, or you take your filler back out, put your drip tip in, and screw it back onto your mod. Here is one I filled earlier. So, let's have a look how this works. So we've turned it on, and basically we're right down to the lowest setting now, which is 3.0 volts. Now on the blue setting, you basically, if you want to go in 0.1 increments, you just turn and you'll feel the clicks, and that will go all the way up to 3.6 volts. If you want to go hotter, then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it should go green. Now you're from 3.6 watts onwards. And if you want to go up to the highest setting, it's just 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should turn red. And there you have your hottest setting. And to go back down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back down to green. 1, 2, 3. Back down to blue. If you want to jump all the way up to red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Straight up to red. If I want to jump straight down to blue, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Let's take a vape. Really nice. Good solid design. Made a 303 grade steel. Get the Atty with it. I mean, it does look a bit space age. It does look like something off of Star Trek, you know, Stardate, Captain's Log. But it vapes really well. I do like this twisty bit, even though it can be a bit fiddly to turn it on and off. I'm going to have another go now, actually. 1, 2, 3. Nope. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've turned that off now. And to go back up, turn it back on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've sussed it. You see, it takes a few goes. It needs to be done at a particular speed, but it's a really interesting design. Vapes really well. Regulated power all the way through it. So basically, if your battery's running out of charge, it will still emit the same amount of power. And jobs are good. And, you know, I actually really like the vape. It's really nice. There you have the Odyssey VV.
Alright guys, so after looking at the Odyssey up close, it is pretty bang on. It is simple to use after a few, you know, little tweaks of actually looking through the book or getting used to the device itself. But it's bang on. It vapes really hard and it looks like a torpedo. Yeah,
it does. You know, out of the box, I mean, we've only just we've had this for the last hour messing about with it. You know, we got invited up here today, which was really nice of them. We've had a nice little look around and we're checking this out. I do like the vape on it, I really do. The design for me personally, and it's obviously up to everybody else's preference, it is quite a large. It's not very stealthy. You could probably pretend it was a flute. But yeah, but a lot of people will like it. It depends, you know, a lot of people like SVD stacked and things like that. They like big mods, so that's cool. The dial out of the box can be a little bit confusing, but after about 10 minutes you sort of get it. It's pretty simple. It's three turns like that, 1, 2, 3 to turn it on. Then it's 4 clicks to go to the next setting and 5 clicks to go to your hottest setting. With the atomizer that is given to you, it goes for about 2.4 ohms. Yeah. You don't really want to mess with the hottest setting, but once you can change your atomizers here. If you want something, put a dual coil on it or something like that, you can really boost this up sort of around the 5 volt to 6 volt margin and really hammer it out. It is very similar design and internals like a Pravari. So basically, no matter what your battery charge is going to be, it's going to keep emitting the same regulated voltage. So your vape isn't going to drop when your battery's getting lower. It doesn't have a screen, and you get a little dial, and it can be, you know, tricky out of the box, like I said, but it only took me 5 or 6 minutes to work out how it's done. So, you know, for 130 quid, you do get a lot with it. You do get a charger, you do get a battery, you do get your tank, you do get your atomizer, you do get some free juice. So it's basically buy this set and you're ready to rock and roll. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool. If you like the design, you know, you can do far worse than this. Yeah, and that is actually my honest opinion. There's nobody here with a gun to our head. Because they're all behind the camera. No, joking. It is really cool. I do like it. So yeah.
Well, I do like it for looks and as well, but just to add as well, they do have separate plinths, so you can get a 22mm plinth, so you can actually stick something like the Rose or something like that on top of it.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, the design inside the tank as well is very similar to a diver, so you can replace the coils inside there if you want. You can rebuild it yourself if you want. A little bit fiddly, but hey, you know, you have that option. So yeah, scores, looks.
Looks, it's not the best looking device, but so let's say 7 or 8.
Yeah, it does look a little bit like a torpedo. It's another sonic screwdriver. Like I said, it's not very stealthy, but you know, it is quite interesting. It is quirky. It kind of looks like there's a little face on the front, smiling at you. Especially if you go hotter with your vapes. Go on, vape me. You know, buttons nice to push. You know, ego threaded, 510 connection, so you can use your EVODs, you can use your Clearos, your CE4, CE5s or what have you. It's got a serial number on it as well, so you can actually register it with Totally Wicked, and it has a warranty for 5 years.
5 years.
5 years, you know, so if anything does go wrong with it, you have the option of sending it back and getting it replaced or getting it fixed or whatever,
Yeah.
which is great. It's not bad for the money. You know, you could buy a mech mod, just a tube on its own, for more money than this. So yeah, removable drip tip. It's especially get up and go. This, isn't it?
Of course it is.
You know.
And the vape on it is bang on.
But for looks, for me personally, I'm not 100% too keen on it. But the vape is great. You can't deny it. It really does. It hits hard. It works well. The dial is quirky and it's just a little bit different. And I like stuff that are a little bit different and tries to change the game a little bit. You know, and that's what they try to do here.
Yeah, definitely have. And we do like it as a device itself. Does retail at a decent price. You know, some people are going to say it is a little bit expensive, but it's ready to go out of the box, and it does come in a nice box.
Yeah, it feels sturdy. It feels well made. It's 303 grade stainless steel, so you know, it's not too heavy. It's not too light. It doesn't feel cheap, which is good. You know, so yeah, that's the Odyssey VV from Totally Wicked, as you might tell from behind us. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this review, and we will see you on the next one. Stay safe.